Hello, this is Tony Heller from RealClimateScience.com, setting the record straight about the most dangerous virus. One of my favorite authors, Edward Abbey, said, "Growth for the sake of growth is the ideology of the cancer cell." After 25 years in Colorado, I moved to Wyoming 4 months ago. 25 years ago, Colorado was a solidly conservative Republican state. But it got invaded by Californians who had fled California because they had turned California into a complete mess. So the Californians brought their crazy left-wing ideas to Colorado and made a complete mess out of Colorado too. The day that Colorado Governor Polis announced that he was going to lock down the state, I fled the state and never looked back. There's a night and day difference between the Colorado side of the border and the Wyoming side of the border. Wyoming is the most Republican state. People in Wyoming are extremely friendly, they're not neurotic, and very few of them wear masks. But now I'm going to get to my story. Colorado has some very big fires burning right now, and they're spreading smoke all over Wyoming. I asked the National Weather Service in Boulder if they could please keep their smoke out of our state. Yesterday was a hot day, so I drove up to the Snowy Range Mountains west of Laramie. We were up hiking around 12,000 feet. This is looking south towards Colorado. There's massive amounts of smoke there. There's almost never any cars parked at the trailhead, but yesterday the parking lot was packed. And almost every single car in the parking lot was from Colorado. In fact, there were hundreds of cars parked around Brooklyn Lake with Colorado plates on them. And there was also one from Ilhan Omar's Defund the Police State. Subaru Outbacks with Colorado plates everywhere. I realized right away that I was in for some unpleasant experiences on the trail. I knew that I was going to see emaciated, pale, soy-eating, masked people on the trail. These two masked women were the first people I saw. They acted like I was a leper. Shortly thereafter, I saw another woman walking the other direction. She didn't have a mask on, but she pointed off to the right, oddly, and then walked 15 feet off the trail to avoid me. So I'm trying to figure out why all these people from Colorado, where there's endless miles of hiking trails in the mountains, drove 2 or 3 hours to come up to Wyoming. Maybe they just got tired of meeting all kinds of other unpleasant Coloradans on the trail. Fortunately, we never stay on the trail for very long, and we took off bushwhacking and found all kinds of wonderful places up in the high country. This is my supermodel Kyrie on the rocks. We found this lake with no marked trails going to it and went swimming in there. It was fantastic on a hot day. The dogs had a fantastic day hiking just like they always do. Despite being tiny, Kyrie has become quite the mountain goat. During the winter and spring, winds in Wyoming are horrific. That's why very few people live here. And the trees in the high country have adapted by growing very close together. They form natural windbreaks. They essentially protect each other by huddling up. Here's another picture of my little mountain goat. There's still lots of snow up in the high country. Normally this view of Medicine Bow Peak would be crystal clear, but all the smoke coming up from Colorado has fouled the air. And unfortunately, smoke isn't the only pollution coming up from Colorado. There are actually people in the neighborhood with signs up supporting creepy Joe Biden. And then there's these signs: "We believe science is real." The implication being only their view of science is real, and anyone with a different opinion is a knuckle-dragging Neanderthal. Then the yellow line says, anyone with a different opinion is a misogynist. And the white line says, anyone with a different opinion is a racist. Do these people actually believe that their neighbors don't think that Black Lives Matter? If you think about it objectively, this line, Black Lives Matter, is very accusatory and hateful. No person is illegal unless they have a different opinion. Love is love. That seems to be Joe Biden's opinion about children. And at the bottom they say, diversity makes us stronger, after implying that their neighbors are knuckle-dragging, misogynist, racist, homophobic pigs. Leftists support diversity of thought as long as nobody has a different opinion than they do. So I made my own sign and put it up in the yard. We believe mob rule is tyranny. Cancel culture is unacceptable. All lives matter, including those not yet born. Debate is central to science. Diversity of opinion is essential for civilization. I'm sure this made my peaceful and tolerant neighbors very angry, and I'm surprised they haven't taken my sign down yet. California destroyed Colorado with their crazed left-wing ideas, and now they're trying to bring them to Wyoming too. Leftists know that they're superior, and they can't understand why everywhere they go turns into a complete wreck. They spread everywhere with the ideology and intelligence of a cancer cell. Toto wasn't concerned about this woman having a physical virus. He was much more concerned about the mental virus which caused her to wear a mask. If she's afraid of people out on the trails in the middle of nowhere, how is she ever going to function again in normal society? It's extremely unpleasant dealing with strangers who treat everyone else like a leper. Mark Twain said, "The more I learn about people, the more I like my dog." And you can visit Toto and Kyrie on the web at realclimatescience.com.